Welcome to Wednesday Night Live from the basement. Here's your hosts, Rob, Daryl, and Tim.
Good evening, everybody. I am Rob. That is Daryl. Tim is still on family vacation, but this is a very special episode because our guest is coming to us from the future. It is Thursday morning or Thursday lunchtime in New Zealand, and it's Keith from Attack.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
This is good, man. We've you and I have talked many times, and we thought we should do this. So Keith sent me an email just recently and said, "Hey, if you ever want a guest," and I said, "Absolutely." So this will be fun. We were just talking. It's winter in New Zealand, and winter is certainly different for Keith than it is for Daryl and I. So you're in the future and you're in the winter. What a weird world we live in.
Yeah, I always like to tune in and watch you guys, and it's great to be on here. Your conversations remind me a lot of the conversations I used to have with my friends about music.
Nice.
Back in the day, so that's why I wanted to come on. I invited myself, I guess, but
well, you had an open invitation, so
yeah.
And that's what this is for us, right? It's just we're three buddies that have other buddies join us, and we talk about music. And honestly, if nobody watched, we'd probably still do it anyway because it's just a fun thing to chat about. Look who's joining us from the comments here. So Tim is popping in to say hi. Tim took his family on a vacation back to his homeland, which is the east coast of Canada. And I was very jealous of Tim today. For anyone that watches us regularly, mainly me, but others talk endlessly about a certain album with a lighthouse on the cover that we talk about all the damn time. That's The Lighthouse in Little Lorraine from the Adam Baldwin album. And Tim sends a picture today at the street sign that said, or the sign outside the city that says Little Lorraine, Nova Scotia. So that was very cool, and sounds like a great trip. I'd love to take my family out east. That'd be fun. Julie is in the house as well. How you doing? Tim will be back next week. So we were off last week because Tim was away on vacation. And my wife and I took my son away for a couple days. We went to Niagara Falls just for something to do. And it sort of struck me that I sort of take that place for granted. It's, the eighth wonder of the world. But for us, it's in my backyard. And I've been there like 400 times and never really pay attention. But there's so many things to do there. We took the kid down there for a couple days, and we're quite busy and having a lot of fun. So, Daryl, school started. You're thrilled to be back, right?
School started. I what was it? Friday we had our grade 9 day, which this year's a little bit different for me again because my second youngest is in grade 9 this year, so he is now in my school, and he tries to avoid me whenever possible.
I think I would probably
pretty easy when it's a school of 152 kids.
Sure. I think I would probably try to avoid my parent if they were a teacher at my school as well. That's got to be a weird thing.
I'm going to have him for a little bit in one of my classes. Yeah.
How do you take the dad hat off and put the teacher hat on? Is that
well, here so funny. My oldest son, when he came through high school, one day he got his timetable, and he looked at his timetable. He walked up to me and he said, "Dad," because normally I don't let my kids call me Dad at school, but that day he was like, "Dad, I'll be out of this class by lunchtime." And then my daughter, on the other hand, she took like 4 classes with me. She just wanted to be there. So it's just so funny how different they can be.
Sure.
But the one rule always was with my kids, you're not allowed to call me Dad, and if it's awkward for you to call me Mr. Shannon, just raise your hand and say, "Can I go to the washroom, please?"
Sure.
You don't need to call me anything, So that's pretty much what they did. They just, I like, So I was supposed to be in the gym, kind of supervising the kids playing sports and stuff on the grade 9 day. And I went over to the admin. I was just talking with them, and I said, I'm not trying to avoid the gym or anything like that. And my VP looks at me. She goes, "It looks like you're trying to avoid the gym. You're standing here talking with me, kind of thing." Well, I just want him to have a grade 9 day, not around his dad.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I do it. I let my kids be themselves.
I kind of a similar sort of experience. So when I was in high school, one of my best friends that I hung out with all the time, his dad was a teacher in our school, and he taught. His name was Aaron. Aaron had his dad a few times. He was a math teacher and a computer science teacher. And I had his dad several times as well. And I spent a lot of time in Aaron's house and was there for dinner quite a bit. And it was weird because he's my teacher, but he's also my friend's dad, and I'm at his house and having meals at his table. And it was such a weird thing. And fun times.
I had a really weird thing happen when I was in high school. So my ex-girlfriend, before I ever met her, we I think I was in grade 12 at the time, or grade 13. And one day there was a supply teacher, and we were being kind of bratty in class on the supply teacher day. I never thought anything of it. Then I started dating her. The first time I went to her house, I knock on the door. It was her dad.
Oh boy. Oh
so
boy.
Weird.
That is bizarre. That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Richard and Record Hunter joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Before we get started this evening, there's something I wanted to talk about briefly. It's not the easiest thing in the world. I'm sure everyone watching is probably familiar with Scott, DJ Vinyl Vertigo. Another member of the Vinyl community, friend of the channel. He's been on our show several times. I don't know that a lot of people know yet, but Keith passed away. Sorry, not Keith. Scott passed away. Keith is right there. Scott, DJ Vinyl Vertigo, passed away very recently, quite almost unexpectedly. He was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of cancer and passed away. I found out the other day and was a little upset about it because I talked to Scott a fair amount, and it's just tragic news. And I don't really know what to say other than to just say that he will be missed. And I very much enjoyed whenever Scott was on the channel. Thanks, John. John let me know we had a lengthy phone call about this the other day because he was upsetting. And it's he'll be missed. Scott was a radio host down in Florida. And John did remind me what the radio station is, and I have to look it up yet again because I can't remember anything. WMNF 88.5. I don't know if they have any of his shows archived on their website or not, so you might want to check that out if you're interested. He was just such a knowledgeable guy about music and just a fun guy to chat with. And I will always, my favorite Scott story, it just makes me laugh every time I think about it. He was from New York, and I remember him telling me he literally bumped into Bruce Springsteen on the street corner, and he saw him, and he was, I guess, standing on the corner because Patty was shopping. He had some bags, and he went up and he punched Springsteen in the shoulder, and was like, "Hey man, what the hell are you doing?" And I laugh because who the hell punches Bruce Springsteen? Like, it was a good. We always had a good laugh, and I love that story. So, it's sad to hear. Hey Alex, how you doing? Richard, yeah, it's went downhill pretty quick apparently. So, I wanted to say something. I mean, I don't really have the words. I was pretty shocked when John told me, but we checked with Scott's husband just to make sure that it was okay. We said a few words about it tonight. I didn't want to be airing their news without any type of, regard for the family or whatever. But his husband said it was all right if we said a few words. So, hats off to Scott. You will be missed, my friend. Yeah. Let's all spin a record for Scott tonight and think of him. So enough of the sad stuff. He wouldn't want us to dwell on it. He'd want us to talk about records and other fun stuff. So that's what we're gonna do. Tonight. We just figured we'd talk about what we've been listening to lately. What have we been spinning lately? Whether it's recent pickups or just stuff in our collection we've been listening to, or however you interpret that. Before we dive into it, though, I got to show a record that just arrived in the mail yesterday when I was away for work, and this is exciting. So let me just full screen myself here for a moment. I am super excited about this. This is the Beatles' White Album, and everyone goes, so what? And I have like 11 copies of the White Album. Thank you, John. I have been working for a while to get UK first pressings of all the Beatles albums, and I'm close. I only need 2 more. This is a UK first pressing of the White Album, and that's in pretty damn good shape. Yes, but it's a White Album, right? So they scuff up easy, but that is in pretty good shape. It's the UK first pressings. Obviously, we're top loaders. So the record comes out of the top. It's got the fold over Garrett and Lofthouse sleeve. So I was thrilled to get this. The only 2 more I need is I need a first pressing of Let It Be from the UK, and I need a first pressing of Yellow Submarine. But yeah, because I need 11 or 12 copies of the White Album, but I need this for my first pressing. The last couple albums aren't in mono, but that is. So found a decent deal on Discogs. Normally they're a little bit yes, it is an original mono, Alex, for sure.
Was that one numbered?
Yes, sir. This is number 357,730. So not exactly a low number, but yeah.
Nice.
Well, there you go, Rob. When you decide that you want to make videos again, what you could do is just show 13 White albums.
I could.
And rank them by vinyl quality.
I could. I like, what it is? I mean, and I do listen to my original UK ones. I'm not an audiophile. I don't need to be full screen anymore. What the hell am I doing? I don't need for audiophile or whatever. But to me, there's just something about, because they were from England and these are the originals. To me, it's more of a true artifact. You know what I mean? It's not like I have all the original Canadian ones, and that's fine. But it's not, to me, even though I have an original White Album Canadian pressing that my dad bought the day that came out at Sam the Record Man in Toronto, and that's neat and everything. But it isn't this, I want the original thing from their country. So, and the original mono ones sound really nice. But again, I'm not an audiophile. It's not near, man. Like it's VG. It's got some wear on it. The records themselves are very, very clean. So, yeah, thrilled to pick that up. I've been thinking lately that, at the risk of talking too long, instead of me buying a lot of records, which I need to slow down on, I've been thinking that what I should do is concentrate on completing my Discogs wish list. Right? Like, let's buy less records, but some of them may cost a little bit more, and they might require a little bit of looking to do that. But that may be what I'm going to do for the rest of the year. I don't know. I don't need any more damn records. So we'll see what happens. Hey, how you doing, sir? Top loaders are pretty unique. Yeah, I mean, I've been looking for one for a while, and I mean, they do come up on eBay. I mean, if you're in England or relatively easy to find, but not that easy to find in Canada. So
Yeah, we don't see very many top loaders, modern or old, here.
now,
I think most Canadian pressings are side loaders.
yep, they are.
And even with gate folds, you don't have the ones that are shoved in on the inside. They're always, I forget what those are called, but we always have the outside ones.
Yep. John's asking, did I spin that Cheryl Crow? Yes, sir, I did, and it is very near the top of my pile. And maybe that'll be the first record I actually talk about. So Richard saying my Discogs wish list would be an expensive project. Mine might be too, but I don't think I'm going to go after the crazy expensive ones. I do have some moderately expensive ones that I'm looking for. So I don't know. We'll see. I figure if I buy less records, I can afford to buy ones that are a little more expensive. That's the logic in my brain anyway. So I don't know. We'll see.
I used Discogs a lot, and like to fill in my collection, a lot of my metal collection and the things that you just could not get here when it was affordable to send to New Zealand. But just lately, our government taxes anything you buy from them. So it's unless they're giving away the record, it's just too costly for most people to send to New Zealand, and a lot of them block. They'll block you if you're a New Zealand buyer, and because they know it's so expensive to send in. They're not going to make much on it. And
we have a similar thing. There's a lot of sellers that don't ship to Canada because even though they make us pay for the shipping, it's still expensive and yeah, often even if whether it's Discogs or whether it's just buying from an artist store or whatever. If it comes from outside of Canada, it's almost like it doubles the price of the record in a lot of cases between the time you pay shipping, and sometimes Canada Customs will ding you with a duty when it comes into the country, a tax. So shipping on this wasn't bad, and I didn't get zinged for duties, so it was reasonable, and I thought, all right, it's in great condition, and I've been looking for one for a while, so. We went with
shipping if it's from some parts of Europe isn't too bad when it comes to Canada, but I've noticed that you go on Discogs American sellers, I mean they've blocked out Canada like big time. It's just too expensive across the border, and in parts of Asia it's pretty expensive.
Maybe they can put it in a boat and row it across Lake America. Did you hear that horse shit? What a moron. Douglas, have you heard the Summer of Soul, a concert with Sly and the Family Stone and other artists? I have not, but that sounds very intriguing. Live recording. I love live recording. So maybe I'll have to source that out, or at least I'm sure it's probably online somewhere. I'll check that out. So should we get into it? I talked way too much. I apologize for that. So
Well, good.
We'll do what we always do. Keith is our special guest, so take it away, my friend. What's spinning on your turntable recently?
Okay, thank you. I think I'm the first New Zealander on your channel.
Indeed.
Okay. So because I knew I was coming on here for my first one, I'll just show something that is familiar to Rob and probably familiar to your viewers. This is Tess Leoto. Thank you. Blue Mind. So Rob put me onto this. He sent me an email. You got to check out this record. That's it. That's the one. I think it's quite a breezy record to listen to. She's got a very sort of pleasant voice. I find it's kind of like a Sunday morning listen.
Yeah.
If you like Fleetwood Mac to listen to on Sunday or something like that, it's just quite something soothing about it. Her voice. I'm not sure what her people that she likes to. Oh, she's got John Prine on here, so I think that's one that she sort of rates. And just with the title, I don't know if it's a Joni Mitchell thing.
No idea.
Album Blue by her. but there's not a lot you can find about. Like, she's quite an obscure artist, even in New Zealand. If you want to check out, she does have a web store. And the funny thing, when I was looking at her store, you can pay $800. I assume it's $800. I don't know if it's 800 euros and she'll come to your house and she'll play. She'll do a set.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's plus air flights, because Christchurch, where I guess she's from, is way down in the South Island of New Zealand. I'm in the North Island, but that's that is my first pick I listened to, purely because I thought I was coming on this channel, and I'll show that first off because Rob found out about that. An artist from New Zealand, a guy in Canada, found out and told me about an artist in New Zealand I didn't know about. So thank you, sir.
No problem. I pulled it out too to listen to it because I'm like, well, Keith is coming on. The only New Zealand record I have is that one, so I better spin it. And I had found out about it. It's just one of those things. I think it showed up in my Instagram feed or whatever, and I think it was the song Blue Mind, the title track. And I went, well, that's kind of catchy. It's kind of a Telecaster folky kind of thing. And I went, that's interesting. So I sent Keith a message and I go, do you know this artist? She's an American, but she lives in Christchurch. And he goes, no, never heard of her. And I'm like, I just ordered the record. And you got the blue vinyl version, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too hard to find, but to find the CD one, that took a long time. And
Really?
I've since sent it to another guy that's more a metal guy, and I said to him, I'm going to send you some heaven and I'm going to send you some hell. So the heaven part of it was Tessa's album on CD, so I could play it in the car, and the hell part I sent him the latest Judas Priest. So I said,
right,
sent you some heaven and hell. Yeah,
I ordered it off the web store. My copy's on black vinyl, but mine's signed. She signed. You got a tiny little signature, but she signed it.
Oh,
and I posted it on Instagram, just just got this great record, and I tagged her, and she replied, and she goes, "Oh my God, how did someone in Canada find my record?" And I'm like, saw it on the internet. So yeah. So great record. I listened to it like 2 or 3 times this week already. When we were driving down to Niagara Falls, which is like an hour and change away from here, the wife and son and I put it on. Even my wife was like, "Well, that's I like that. It's kind of nice." So
very easy to listen to.
Yeah, it's a good Sunday morning have a coffee kind of record for sure. So, all right, Daryl, what's spinning in the great?
I gotta give that record a stream and a listen. I haven't done that yet. I just like every time we're on here, I put it into my phone and I just forget about trying it. So I actually got this app on my phone. It's called Spun It, and it's been giving me motivation to go through my Discogs collection. It's connected to Discogs, and then it's got like different achievements and stuff that you can do, like play 5 records in a day or play 5 albums by the same musician, all that kind of. So it's kind of like a challenge thing. So I've been kind of doing that. So what I did was for this is I went onto my Spun It and I looked at the last 10 or 12 records that I spun on my Spun It. The first one I'm going to show was just honorable mention because I haven't spun the album, but I've kind of streamed it a few times, and I figured why not show my favorite Canadian band just for the sake of showing it.
Of course.
So I have streamed Glass Tiger just sitting in front of the TV, the Diamond Sun album particularly, but I haven't spun the album, so it's almost a cheat honorable mention. But I think most of you have heard me blabber on about this band long enough, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But going from 80s Canadian rock, I guess you would call it, or pop music. The most recent spin, which I did, was last night. And Richard, Ministries, Psalm 69. I forget what the whole full title is. Something the way to suck eggs and stuff like that. So, you not only do you have to keep score, but you got to mention Ministry now too, Richard. So this was the album that I was introduced to. Actually, I was introduced to this album via Beavis and Butthead on on late MTV when I was in high school. And this has probably the most palatable, if you're wanting to go into industrial music, probably the most palatable industrial music. Jesus Built My Hot Rod, NWO, Just One Fix. They're all on here. Um, but anything after this is pretty heavy and technical when it comes to the industrial scene. I think I talked about this maybe on one of my more recent videos, but the thing that I always think is funny about Ministry is that they have been for a while, they've been on the exact same label that Madonna used for decades. They were on the Sire label. So it's always funny to see how music labels will be like, yeah, as long as it's making us money, we don't care if it's industrial music followed by Madonna. They'll do whatever it is. So yeah, if you haven't listened to this and you want to get into industrial music, check out Ministries Psalm 69. I forget the long name for it. It's too long for me. Yeah.
There you go. Richard, you don't have to necessarily be concerned about keep a score because I'm not going to show any Blue Rodeo tonight. I don't have any Brian Adams here, so and Tim's not here, and I'm not going to show Adam Baldwin, even though I have listened to that album 7 times this week. Everyone's sick of me showing it, so I'm not going to show it. So you don't necessarily have to keep. You can keep score if you want. And also, the Jays are winning 3-0. So there we go. Okay, since
before you continue, they're winning 3-0, and there's no Dustin Hoffman.
Jeff Hoffman. But there is no Dustin. There is no Dustin Hoffman either. You're correct. So,
Rain Man.
See, John, you can't keep mention. I have to show the record in order for to keep score. But John, you're still here, so I said I would lead with this. Sheryl Crow's self-titled album, which was the one after Tuesday Night Music Club, if I remember correctly, just got released on vinyl for the first time. It's that vinyl file series from Universal. Yeah, this is from 96. This has what's on here? Change. If it makes you happy, what else is on here? Every day is a winding road. I think there's a couple others. Fantastic record. First time it's ever been available on vinyl. I had to jump through hoops to get it because when I went to order it when they first announced it, it said only available in the United States. And I went, God damn it, that's not cool. So I reached out to one of my several friends in the U.S. I didn't bug John because he was busy, so I reached out to Chance, Concert Bunny, said, hey, man, can you? And he goes, yep, absolutely. So he shipped it up to me. And as soon as he had it shipped up to me, suddenly then it was available in Canada. I'm like, God damn it. But anyway, I got it, and that's great. We always show our gatefold, so there it is. Great 90s Sheryl Crow record. I am so glad that it's on vinyl now. Yes, I did keep the Obi. It's right there. Right here. But I don't want to put that on the cover because that's not what the cover's supposed to look like. So I keep it inside the record. I just hope now they start reissuing some of our other back catalog, like the Globe Sessions and stuff like that. So
I have a question because I'm not too familiar with her catalog. The song that she did that was on Point Break, the Run Baby Run song, I think it was on Point Break.
Yep.
Was that ever released on a regular album?
That's the lead track from Tuesday Night Music Club, and that is my favorite Sheryl Crow song.
Yeah. I was wondering about that.
Yep. John is asking, remind me which live Sheryl Crow album to get. Live at the Ryman. It's a 3 LP. I don't know if you can still get it or not. That's the one to get. The other one is the Capitol Theater one, and the cover on that one's kind of like purple and pink. I find that performance to be really underwhelming, John. I don't think it's that great. But the Live at the Ryman is really good, and there's a bunch of guests on there, like Stevie Nicks is on there, and I forget who else is on there. That's just an absolutely stellar live record. So that's the one to find. Yeah, see, there you go. I agree with you, John. That's the song that made me an instant fan as well. Great song. Do I have any Red Cross records on Posh Boy like Teen? No, I do not. I don't even know that. So call me ignorant on that one. Too much homework for me to do. Okay, back to you, Keith. What else is spinning down there from the future?
Okay, Richard, I don't know if you're keeping score, but I'm going to show Bruce Springsteen. And
me too.
It's not Nebraska.
That's okay.
It's Rising.
Rising.
Yeah. One song that's got particular meaning is My City in Ruins. He wrote that about Asbury Park, New Jersey. But the song took on a bit of a life of its own after, of course, September 11th. A lot of cities have found meaning in that song after pretty sort of climactic events. There was like Hurricane Katrina. We talked about Christchurch before. There was an earthquake in New Zealand in Christchurch in 2011, a massive earthquake there. And 185 New Zealanders died because of this earthquake. So when Bruce performs, he dedicates that one song to the people of Christchurch, which is a lot of meaning when he does that in concert. This is a great album as well. I like there's a lot of rockers on here. There's songs about, of course, his reaction to the aftermath of 9/11. But I like the rockers. I like the Rising on here. It's a great song. There's some, like I say, real bangers on there. And that was the tour that the only time I've seen Bruce Springsteen was on that tour. And so I thought I'd show my ticket there. I saw it in Sydney in the Sydney Cricket Ground. She was my girlfriend at the time, but now she's my wife. I took her to that. She didn't know anything about him. She just came along because I was going. And if you want to compare ticket prices from then to now, this cost me $88. And when was it? Saturday, the 22nd of March, 2003. And there's
jeez.
Yeah, I don't know how crazy the prices are now, but
hundreds, I would imagine. Hundreds.
Yeah. 88 Australian dollars.
Wow. Your dollar's very similar to ours, so that's like 88 bucks for us.
I hear that.
So, yeah. You're right, John. It is 4 LPs. It's not 3 LPs. If you can find it for $70, grab it, man. You will enjoy that Sheryl Crow live record. So that's the Rising is one of the few Springsteen albums I have left to pick up. I'm going to show in a minute. I'm going to show some. I bought one just recently, which I'll talk about. And then I also got VCLT'd a bunch of Springsteen bootlegs from our friend Chris in Wales. He sent me some Springsteen bootlegs, which are very cool as well. So I'm going to get to those in a little bit. So that's a good one. That's just one album. It's not. I mean, I could buy it off Amazon. I just haven't found it in a record store yet. So it's on the list. Can't go wrong with the boss, though. All right. Maybe we should add Bruce to the keeping score because he comes up every week.
He comes up a lot.
Yeah. Richard, add Bruce to the list.
All right. Just trying to tell my son to keep it down a bit.
It's all good. This is not a high quality show. So,
that I guess if he's talking to his friends on a video game,
no big deal. All good.
Okay, so next on my Spun It list, talked about this woman before, out of Wales. If Chris Mann was here, you were just talking about Chris Mann. I got VCLT from Chris Mann as well recently. I showed it in my last video, but he sent me a couple. He's just trying to get rid of records he doesn't listen to. He just doesn't like them.
Which is what he sent me as well.
Yeah, so out of Wales. This is from the 90s. I've shown this before. If you like, I don't know. I Love You Always Forever was like the big hit on here. It was like a dance song, and Rob and I's high school days, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the rest of this album for me, minus the very last song, which is the remix of that song, I just find there's something angelic about her voice. I don't know what it is. She's got more mellow songs. Um, I think that she's a one-hit wonder in North America, if memory serves me correctly. And I think she was almost, it's that scenario where she has this one big hit and everybody just doesn't acknowledge the rest of it. But to me, this is a really good album. And what's the album called? Now in a Minute is the name of the album. But like for me, this is obviously it might be a niche thing for some people, but yeah, I don't know what it is. It's a really good, to me, it's a really good album. Um, Minus I Love You Always Forever. You talked about the Leotode album kind of being one of those Sunday night drinking some coffee albums. To me, this would be something I'd sit in a chair and drink a coffee to as well. So that was on my playlist. I've listened to this album a couple of times, and it comes on it's a really nice a see-through kind of a yellowy orange wax. So really good. I know it's not for everyone, but I'm playing it quite a bit lately. So Donna Lewis, Chris Mann, when you rewatch this, it's out to you.
There you go. I was talking to Chris about an hour, 2 hours ago, probably. So he was traveling for work this week, so he'll watch this tomorrow, I suspect. Before I show mine, where did I see that comment? There we go. Mark got some VCLT. Yeah, it must be astronomical for him paying postage because he's care packaged out a lot of stuff. But you know what? He was telling me, it's like he sold a bunch of records that he wasn't listening to, and then he VCLT'd them, so the other ones, so that they would find a good home. And what a great thing to do. Package I sent him just arrived, and he goes, damn, the package that he's been waiting for me arrived when he's out of town for a week. So he had his mom pick it up at the post office. So
now Mark Morris, now I know you're here. You have to stick around for my next album because you're gonna love it.
All right. Hey, Sam. Sam's saying all Chris sent me was a used order of fish and chips. Is it still warm? Eat it? I don't know. All right.
Hopefully
I'm going to show
Bruce tartar sauce.
Ooh, there you go. I'm going to show Bruce as well. I'm going to show the Bruce that Chris sent me, and next round I'll show the Bruce that I just purchased. So I like taking them out of the sleeve. This is not a bootleg. This is an actual official release. This is Bruce Springsteen in concert, unplugged, crossed out. So this was came out in 92. So he was supposed to do an unplugged for MTV, and they did like one song acoustic, and he didn't like the sound. So it's an amplified acoustic and electric performance. It is really good, actually. I like it. This is some of the stuff off of I think this is songs off of Human Touch and Lucky Town. I think this came out just after that, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Keith? Yeah.
Around that time, it's got Man's Job and songs on.
Exactly. I loved this. This I thought was just fantastic. So I got that, and then the bootlegs he sent me. He sent me this, an Italian charade, European broadcast recordings 93 volume 2. This is on the tour after Lucky Town and Human Touch. So it's got some of those songs on there, and it's got some early stuff on there. There's a great version of Atlantic City, which you gotta love that. So there you go. This says this. What's it saying? Yeah. This is it talks about this is the tour that he did without the E Street Band after those two albums. So great bootleg, great sound quality because it's an FM radio broadcast. And then I'll show this one, and that's a relatively new bootleg, within the last couple of years or so. Then there's this, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, A Saint in the City, live from the Bottom Line, New York, 15th of August, 1975. So, I mean, this is an early performance, and it sounds like it's in a small venue, and it kind of has that vibe to it, and enjoyable. John's asking, is that bootleg from Parachute Records? Let's see. Yes, sir, it is. It's from Parachute Records. And the last one, and this is an intriguing one that Chris sent me. This is called Bruce Springsteen with a little help from my friends. And this is him doing covers of songs, or not covers of songs, doing collaborations of songs. So him and Bob Seger do Thunder Road as an example. There's a couple songs in here with Southside Johnny. There's a song in here he does with Jackson Brown, and there's some others. Neat little bootleg. And here's the interesting thing. This is a product of the Boss's Canadian Fan Club. So this is a bootleg released by the Canadian Fan Club that somehow made its way to Wales and then made its way back to Canada. So there you go. Thanks to Chris. I love live recordings, so that was very generous of him to send those my way, and I've spun them all a few times. So there you go. Let's see here. John's saying Parachute has good quality radio broadcast. Yeah, I was quite impressed with it. It sounds very good. So, all right. Back to the top, Keith.
Okay, I'm going to show some Alice Cooper.
Nice.
So it's Billion Dollar Babies from 1973. My relationship with this artist is kind of like Rob's with Aerosmith. I like the period that all the real hardcore Alice fans sort of don't like. So for me, it's like the late 80s, early 90s stuff, like Trash and Hey Stupid, Brutal Planet ones. But I'm starting to get into this older Alice Cooper and really enjoying it. I didn't realize the other day when I came, because I went to the dentist and I had a tooth, got a filling, I got a tooth pulled out. So my face was, from the anesthetic, was like this and all that. And I was listening to it. There's a song on here and it's got it's called Unfinished Suite, and it's got all the dental noises, that.
Oh.
And I thought I was going to sit down and relax and listen to a record. Instead, I just about jumped out of my seat when I heard that sound. I was like, I did not want to hear it.
Oh, there's nothing I hate more than the dentist. And that sound, I don't care how frozen I am, that sound just, do not like that.
All the full sound effects.
Oh, man.
And what's quite cool about this one I've got is, I don't know if you've got the old ones, they come with the $1 billion note.
Nice.
That's cool.
So that came with it. And it's got quite a cool insert there as well.
Mark is saying that is a fantastic album.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying. Never really heard it before. Strangely enough, one of the songs I really like is "I Love the Dead," and if you've listened to that album, you know that it's about necrophilia. But where I work, I work at a hospital, and a colleague used to sing the lines from that, and I said, "What's that song you're singing?" He said, "Oh, it's Alice Cooper, I Love the Dead." And so that's when I listen to the album, I go, "Oh, that's the song he's been singing," because a lot of the humor around the place where I work is very dark, and that fits in perfectly with Alice Cooper.
Sure. Richard's saying he's probably the only member who does not have that Alice Cooper record. I don't have it either, Richard. So
I don't have it either, Richard.
See, there's three of us now.
Yeah. So Keith, you mentioned the Trash album. I don't understand everybody's hate for that album, because I agree with you. It's a great album.
Yeah, I love it. It's got some good tracks on it.
Yeah, the first 5 tracks are really good on that.
Even the next one, they I think it may be because it's more as like hair metal period that they say it's not as, what he's more known for. But yeah, that's what I grew up with, like Rob with his Aerosmith. That's what I grew up with. Yeah.
I have this theory, like even songs that are cover songs or whatever, at least for me, I tend to always prefer the one that I heard first. And that's kind of like with Aerosmith too. I heard that 80s, late 80s, early 90s Aerosmith before I heard the earlier stuff, just because I was a teenager watching Much Music or MTV for our American friends. So that's what I heard first, and that's what I prefer. I still love Toys in the Attic and all those early albums, and I have them all, but got a sweet spot for the 80s stuff. So yeah.
Get a Grip is the one that that's the one I gravitate to, but I think it's because early high school.
I'm just gonna say it. Those 2 Alicia Silverstone videos. Crying and crazy. That got me hooked. I'm like, whatever this is about, I'm in. So all right. Daryl, what's okay. Spinning next?
So my next listen is a double album. It's actually a live album, and it's in a genre that Rob always laughs about, because when we did our Show As Many Genres video way back, this is the one genre that you guys were like, what the hell is that?
I know where you're going.
And so this one's for you, Mark Morris, because him and I have an ongoing thing every now and again too, because you and Mark are huge Beatles fans, and you guys know that I only have the Red and the Blue album. It's all I need. And Mark's always like, yeah, sure. The guy that doesn't really like the Beatles, but he has a Greenlandic band that he really likes called Nanook.
Yeah, I knew that's where you were gonna go.
Yeah, this is a double. This is a live album, which I think is just, I don't know, it's just so fascinating to me to know that there's this band that nobody knows, but they have a double album that was a live performance in Greenland. Can't remember exactly where it was. If I could find it here. It was recorded in Nuuk, Greenland at a concert. So that's the band there. But there's just something about these guys that intrigues me. They always have really cool artwork on their albums. Not one of their songs is in English. It's all in Greenlandic language. It's an acquired taste, but I just think it's fast. This is a little bit darker, but it's on the inside, I guess, of the cave. There's one other album that I've got to buy of theirs, but the issue is I have to buy it from Greenland. And speaking of an expensive place to buy your albums from, paying Danish krona to purchase that. And I think that's the only place I can get these guys. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something interesting and unique, I wouldn't say that it's like the that band from Mongolia or anything like that, but they have like I call it like an indie soft rock sound with Greenlandic vocals. That's the only way that I can explain it. But the first 3 tracks on the live album, you can even hear the crowd. It's probably like a crowd of like 400 people, but you can just hear them and they're going nuts in the crowd. So, hey, even in Greenland, they have live rock concerts and people are still going nuts. So that's why we do this one. That's why we like music.
I got to ask, have you listened to that enough that you can sing it even though you have no idea what the words are?
No, definitely not.
Because you can relate to this. When we were kids growing up, we had to learn O Canada in French. I know what it says now in French, but when I was in grade 4, I had no idea what those words meant. And we just, as you probably did, we just made the sounds that sounded like the words. And I'm just wondering if you'd heard that enough. Can you sing it? I'm not asking you to do it right now.
If I could, actually. I don't know. It's something that I'd have to look into. I know up here, like I don't know all the lyrics, but I can tell you that our national anthem here depending on the day that they play it, it's in English or it's in French, but they also have a Cree version here too. And so I can identify the Cree version of "O Canada." I don't know what it means, but
Right.
Nookmania. Yeah.
I just have this vision of you on like a Sunday morning with like headphones on, and you're vacuuming the house, and your wife walks into the room, and you're singing this like Greenlandic gibberish, and she's like, "What did I marry? What is this lunatic doing?"
Yeah.
So, so this is a good example, Record Hound. Yes. So the Beatles recorded 2 songs in German. I don't speak German. I know like 3 words in German. Can I sing "I Want to Hold Your Hand" and "She Loves You" in German? Damn right I can. I know every syllable of those 2 damn songs. I don't speak German. Am I pronouncing the words? Probably not, but I could sing those 2 songs and sound like a fool. So that's a fantastic example. So I just wondered if
my wife says all the time, "What is that you're listening to?" Doesn't like it.
There you go.
I think my wife's given up on that. She's just like, I'm going to our room. I think that's what she does now.
You're playing it too loud, I get.
Tim sent us a text earlier just before we went on air saying, speaking of our wives not liking what we listen to, which very common in my house, he goes, "I got my wife liking Adam Baldwin." So there we go. We got another convert, Daryl. All right. I guess it's my turn, isn't it? All right. Let's do this, and then let's do this. Okay. So I told you I would show the Springsteen album that I just purchased recently. I don't go to the record store very often because I end up buying records that honestly I really don't need and probably don't have the money for. But I saw this, and normally when I'm at the record store and you go to the Springsteen section, what do you find? You find Nebraska, Born to Run, Born in the USA, and that's usually about it. Like, you don't typically find, at least around here, you don't find much else. So when I was flipping through the Springsteen section and saw Wrecking Ball, I'm like, well, damn it, I better buy Wrecking Ball because I don't have it. Holy shit, what a fantastic record. I love it. I love it. I mean, I remember when it came out, it's a great record. I think the single, Keith's more of the Springsteen expert than I am, but I think the single is "We Take Care of Our Own," if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good song, but there's other songs in here like "Shackled and Drawn." I just love that song. Why? I don't know. The only one there's one that gets a little bit weird towards the end, and I can't remember which one it is, but it's kind of got like some, I don't know, it's overproduced weird stuff. But anyway, the rest of the album is absolutely fantastic, and I dare say it's one of my favorite Springsteen records. So it's not that I had put off buying it. It's just, I don't want to Amazon it if I can help it. And I had just never seen it in any of my record stores. So and for some reason it was like less than $30, which in Canada is kind of unheard of for a record. So thrilled to finally have Wrecking Ball. What's your thoughts on that one?
It's definitely not a common one to find.
Really?
I'd kind of put that in the middle of the albums I like from Bruce Springsteen, the Magic album, and I finally tracked down one I've been looking for, another uncommon one to find on vinyl, is "Working on a Dream."
Right.
That I've finally got that one. That's one I've been looking for a long time, and that's coming from Philadelphia to New Zealand. So
oh wow!
But yeah, that's got some good tracks on it. But I'd put it somewhere in the middle for the ones I like from him.
Sure. I think this might be top 5 for me. I think it probably goes Nebraska, Tunnel of Love. For me, Human Touch and Lucky Town are like, it's a double. In my mind, they're released on the same day. The covers look the same. So to me, that's one album. And then I think maybe Wrecking Ball. I don't know.
Okay.
It might, you know what? And it's one of those things where 2 days from now, and if I'm in a different mood, that list probably changes. Nebraska never moves. Yeah. But
there aren't really bad Bruce Springsteen records. I can listen. There's always something I like.
The only one to me that I've found underwhelming thus far. Well, I also really like Letters to You. The only one that I found, there's two that I found that I kind of went, Not a big fan of Tom Joad, even though that's kind of similar to Nebraska, but I just can't get into it. And Western Stars, I just bores me.
I'm with you on Tom Joad. Like, there's a couple of tracks on there like that. It's quite dark.
Yeah.
But Western Stars would be right up there for me. I really like that.
Really?
One.
So maybe I just need to give it a little bit more attention, and maybe it's one of those that's a slow burn and takes a few listens for me to get into it.
He's trying to do something different, and it takes a while to,
maybe that's what it is. And I love when artists try to do something different, because when you have 8 albums that all sound the same, you go, I'm a little bit bored. So maybe it's just what I wasn't expecting it. Maybe that's why it didn't resonate with me. So tomorrow I am working from home. I will spin Western Stars tomorrow. See what I think. Was Wrecking Ball the one with Radio Nowhere? Nope. Radio Nowhere. I don't know. What album's that off of? Do you know, Keith?
I'm thinking Magic, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Problem is, the man's recorded like 400 songs, right? It's. I almost bought that Live at Asbury Park.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Well, it's on sale on Amazon here, and it's like $200, less than $200.
Okay.
And
it's getting down.
Right? I'm going, man. Let's see what it is. What is it today? Let me just have this is highly entertainment value, folks. I'm looking at something on Amazon while we're live on YouTube. So fasten your seatbelts. It's just a thrill a minute here on Live from the Basement. Hold on there. Hold on. We're almost there. We're looking for it. We're looking for it. Where is it? Hold on. Where is it? Come on. It is $185 today. I think it was like $160 a little while ago, and if it drops a little more, I'm probably going to have to buy it. I think. Yeah. I think. Oof.
I want it. Yeah, I haven't bought it, but
yeah, I have the compilation one that's like the best of those 4, and that's pretty good. So, yes, John confirms it's Magic. So, okay, I know, Richard. I told you to buckle your seat. This is suspenseful stuff. All right, back to you, Keith. What else you been listening to?
Okay, I've been listening to Peter Frampton. This is his first album.
Oh yeah,
from 1972, and it's called Wind of Change. Now, there's a bit of a twisted story to how I got into this guy, and there's a connection to Canada in the story.
I'm intrigued.
A few years ago, I went to a record fair, and there was a lady there. She was selling. I talked to her because she had a record I wanted to buy. It was a first pressing of Rush's first album, and I thought, I'll get that. And I had a stack of records, but anyway, I don't know how it happened, but the guy she got involved with to sell all their records, like it was she's a Canadian lady, and it was her father's record collection, thousands of records, and she had it shipped in a container from Canada to New Zealand. But the guy that she got involved to help her sell all those records locally, he's well known as a bit of a crook, and he's ripped off a lot of people. So I didn't really want to deal with him. So I was talking to her quite a bit about her dad and things like that, hoping to make a deal with her. But she turned me down, and then she said, "No, you got to go deal with this guy." I went to deal with him, and he wanted a crazy amount for it, and I said no. Anyway, when all this was over, this is months down the track, I went to a charity shop, and there was heaps of these Canadian press records, and I'm going, that's really unusual to see Canada press records in New Zealand. And the reason I knew that it came from that same lady was in the records. There's this little card here, and that was her dad. His name's Roger.
Aw,
There he is. There, he looks like the kind of guy that we'd all get along with and talk records with. And
indeed.
yeah, and it says on here, "Thanks for buying my record. Have a drink on me and play it loud. Love, Roger."
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, so
it gives a bit of life to the record. I like that.
Yeah, so I've got quite a few. I picked up quite a few records. They're not the most popular ones because I guess that guy that I told you about is a bit dodgy. He sold all those for a good price, and I did hear through the grapevine that he did rip her off as well. This Canadian lady. So that wouldn't have changed one. The earlier stuff from Peter Frampton, I love that. It's actually a white promo, Canadian press. I really love the stuff coming up to that Frampton Live, which was a huge album for him. A lot of people know that Frampton Live album, but I don't think they've heard those earlier ones. They're really worth investigating. And he made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I remember at the time people saying, why did he get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? But go back and listen to those records. So purely because I found all those records cheap and started listening to them, I got them for nothing. I actually got them for nothing because there was on Facebook, there was a thing that this shop is closing, this charity shop is closing, and come down if you want these records, and it showed a whole pile of records. So I went down and I got a whole bunch of free stuff.
Wow.
And just listening to it, and it made me pick up this is his latest album by Peter Frampton, and you can get a copy, and he's actually signed the record, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
And what's this one called? Carry the Light. Great record. And on here, he's got lots of guests on here. He's got, you talked about Sheryl Crow, she's on it. Bill Evans, Tom Morello is on this. Graham Nash and Benmont Tench.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you, Roger, over in, came from Canada, and I've got some of your records in my collection.
There you go. Very cool. That's awesome. I love that story. Yeah. Love that story.
It's always annoying when you hear about people that are just scoundrels, and they just try to scam everybody when people are just trying to do the right thing. They want to. Yeah, it's just so irritating.
Yep.
A lot of people aren't in records for the right reasons,
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in karma. He'll get his one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. Okay. Daryl, what you got next?
Okay, so I don't think I've ever shown this before, and I'm not even sure if anybody really knows who these guys are, but I'm going to show a 1970s, late 60s through to about 1974, 75. They're a Canadian rock band by the name of Steel River. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of these guys.
Nope.
They had I was looking them up. They have like 4 or 5 albums from the 1970s, but there's a song on here called 10 Pound Note, which was the single, I guess, that was on here, and it went on Canadian airwaves and stuff. But I don't know how to. It's kind of a weird album too. Like what you're seeing there isn't glare or anything. It's almost like somebody took like a photocopy and just pasted it on a record cover and put it through a photocopier for every cover. Same thing with the backside. It's just like this faded. I don't know. It's like a cheap pressed album cover, but it's pretty like rocking guitars. The I guess the way that I can explain it maybe is like, say the keyboards from Santana with a little bit of oomph, like the band, with maybe like a little bit of like Beatles to it. I don't know how to explain it. It's a really good album though. This is their first album. If you have a chance to listen to it, take a listen. It's like literally like classic rock sound. And I'm not gonna say like Deep Purple or anything like that, but it's like I said, it's like a combo of like Santana with a little bit of the band meets the Beatles a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. So yeah, Steel River, weighing heavy, 10 Pound Note. It's a really good album.
Record Hound is a big advocate, and he says they had another hit called Southbound Train. So there you go. I'm intrigued. I might look that up. All right. Here we go. I'm going to show something else that's not Springsteen. I listened to this in the car for the last 2 days. I've shown this a long time ago, but this is a really neat record. This is the Sadies in Concert Volume 1. So the Sadies I've talked about before. They're a rock band from Toronto, but they have received kind of a cult following in North America. They're often kind of called cosmic cowboys because they do play this weird kind of country rock, but they can play anything. Like they did a blues album, they did a country. They're all over the place, but they are absolutely phenomenal guitar players. They were Nico Case's backing band for a while. And this is In Concert Volume 1. There is no Volume 2. This came out in 2006, incredibly hard to find on vinyl. It's 3 LP. And this was a really interesting concert. So this was at Lee's Palace, which is a famous live venue in Toronto, recorded over 2 nights. And the close analogy that I'll make, this is like the band's last waltz, which, you know, the band came, it was their final, this is not their final performance for the Sadies, but like the band, you know, they played the first night themselves and their family because their father and uncle is another Canadian band called the Good Brothers. So, and their mother sings too. So the first night, the Sadies played most of that night and the Good Brothers joined them. And then the second night was all of their friends. So Nico Case, Garth Hudson from the band played on this record. John's going to have to mark a score down. Blue Rodeo plays on this record. Rick White, Heavy Trash, John Spencer, John Langford, Gary Lewis from the Jayhawks, a whole bunch of people, because they have recorded albums with a bunch of people. So they did an album with John Langford. They did an album with Gord Downie. They've done like 8 or 9 albums with other people where they're just the backing band. So all those people, not Gord Downie, but a lot of those people came to this 2-night celebration. And this is just, it's like a Canadian version of The Last Waltz, and Garth Hudson is on here. And they actually do a cover of Evangeline, which the band did with Emmylou Harris. Nico Case does it with the Sadies, and it's really, really good. Fantastic record. I've heard a lot of stories about this particular show because my good friend Bob Egan, who's right there, who played with Wilco, plays on this record. So, yeah, I just felt like listening to it because I'd been listening to the band last week, and I went, this is kind of like, it's not the same kind of music as the band, but that concert extravaganza was kind of that same sort of idea. So, big fan of the Sadies. They're still out there touring despite the death of one of the brothers, but it's great. It's the best Sadies album, but incredibly hard to find. So, Record Hound is commenting on the band you just showed. You were right. They're hard to categorize, but good Canuck rock. Well, when you say good Canuck rock, I'm immediately intrigued. And speaking of all things Canuck, let's see how the Jays are doing. That's still 3-0 in the top of the 7th. So that's good. Unless we bring in Brandon Little and just, blow it up, which could happen. All right. We're going around again. Keith, your turn again, sir.
Okay. Rob, do you know this one?
You bet I do. That's Daryl's favorite band.
But you might not know this particular album. It's ABBA.
Thank you for the music.
That's right. Thank you for the music. In Spanish, it's ABBA, but all the songs are in Spanish.
Yep. I knew that existed, but I don't have it, and I need to track one of those down because that to me sounds great.
If you haven't heard Dancing Queen in Spanish, you haven't lived, Rob.
Well, you need to, and I think Daryl's going to Google that as soon as we're done tonight. That's his favorite song.
But there's songs from all the different albums. Like I think Dancing Queen was on Arrival.
I think so.
That's on there. And then it's got Thank You for the Music. That was on a different album.
One of the last albums, I think.
Yeah, Chiquita, Mamma Mia. But it's actually quite a fun listen. All the production is the same. All the great harmonies are there, but it's just done in another language. Like
what was the reason for them doing a Spanish album? Was it just?
It might just be because that's Spanish speaking most of the world. The great big percentage of the world speak that language. So they've conquered the European world. So where do you go from there back then?
Is their Spanish as good as their English?
Yeah. Well, I can't. I'm not a Spanish speaker.
Well, no, but
it sounds very similar to the English tracks to my ear. But it's a fun one to track down. If you,
I got to put that on my Discogs wish list now because I knew they had done some. Let me just ABBA.
I think I bought it for like a couple of dollars or something.
Keith, what's incredible about that is it has a $5 price tag on it.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Just gonna
affordable music.
There's only 49 different pressings of that on vinyl, so that's all you need.
You should be able to snag one, I think.
I would think so. I'm going to. There's a Canadian Record Club version. There we go. Well, let's just put this right on the wish list right now. Hold on. Add to want list. There we go. It's official. I have to buy it now. So
that was fun to listen to the other day. I had listened to it for a while.
ABBA's fun all the time, regardless. There's never a bad time to listen to ABBA. And Daryl, you're just missing out, man.
I guess I'll have to give them another try. Maybe to meet some of these requirements of my Spun It app, I'll put on some ABBA.
There you go. Record on saying the gals re-recorded the vocals over the tracks. They had hits in Latin markets. Well, that makes sense. Kind of like the Beatles with their 2 German songs. So I knew that they had done a couple songs. I didn't know there was a whole album, but now I need it because I have almost everything else ABBA did. I just need the first 2, I think, and then I got everything. So. Mark, you're missing out too. You'd rather listen to Nanook than ABBA. I mean, I'm all for Nanook, but ABBA.
I appreciate the support, Mark. I like that. Support my band.
If I can find 2 copies of that, do you want me to send you one, Daryl?
Sure. Why not? I'll take anything as VCLT. And
there you go. All right. What do you got?
All right. Well, this one's for you, Keith. I'm not sure what you think of these guys, but it's definitely from your parts. But Man of Colors by Icehouse has been on my turntable a few times. This is a Chrysalis. I think it's a Canadian press that I have here, but yeah, this I think in North America this would have been Icehouse's big album. It's got Crazy, it's got Electric Blue, which were the 2 big singles up here. But I think it's a really good album, and just kind of a cool little simple artwork on the cover. I mean, how would we describe them? I guess just 80s pop Australian music.
Yeah, AOR.
Yeah. And I got a really nice copy. I think I paid $10 for this in North Bay. It was a very clean copy. Comes with the inner sleeve. Which has the lyrics on the other side, and think reading about Icehouse, because I don't know a whole lot about them, but they almost seem like an 80s like Australian heartthrob boy band, not a boy band, but like a heartthrob kind of a band. I think it's the what is it, the Electric? No, I think it's the Crazy. The video for Crazy, they're in like a record studio, record station, and this girl calls in to request a song. She's in love with the lead singer of the band. So, but yeah, I mean, this kind of reminds. It's not OMD or anything like that, but it's definitely that mid '80s soft rock sound. So I like it. I like side one. Not too sure about side two. I'm gonna have to give it another listen, but it's a pretty good album, the Ice House one.
That's one of my favorite Ice House albums, and Ice House are like one of those bands like Queen that they've got a knack for putting out really catchy, hooky singles. Each album's got at least two really great songs. I like some of the older stuff was great as well, and I saw Ivor Davis, the Ice House play. I think it was a couple of years ago. I wasn't particularly impressed. I thought he phoned it in a bit in concerts. You know, I suppose he's getting older, and he's sung those songs so many times, but it didn't impress me. But I love the Man of Colours song on there. That's probably my favorite. I really like that song, and other songs I like from him. There's quite a few. I like Street Cafe. That's a cool song, and Love and Motion's another. You know, just one great single after another. But for those that don't know Ice House, greatest hits. Yeah. Chris Mann, greatest hits.
Speaking of Chris Mann, that inspired my next record. So I sent Chris some VCLT. Chris likes to mention that I have maybe influenced him to buy a record on more than one occasion. And by that, I mean a lot of occasions. Chris and I were talking, and our musical tastes are eerily similar, and he's fallen in love with a bunch of Canadian bands that I talk about all the time. And so the VCLT, he knows what's in the VCLT that is sitting waiting for him at his house. He became a fan of this band from Toronto that I love called Whitehorse. These two folks, Luke and Melissa, I've shown them a million times on my channel before. They are both members of Sarah McLachlan's band. Luke's been Sarah McLachlan's guitar player since the mid-90s. And Melissa plays bass. The package that I sent him, I went and saw Whitehorse a couple months ago. They played here in my town. And I picked up one of the records for him, and I got them to sign it. And I said to them, hey, this is for my buddy in Wales. And like, Wales? How is our music getting to Wales? And I just said, he's a friend of mine. I talk about it all the time. And so they signed it for him, and I sent them that, and then another Whitehorse record that I had. Long way of saying, Chris sends me a text the other day with a picture of this on Amazon. He goes, should I buy this? And I go, yes, you should. You should buy every Whitehorse record because I think they're fantastic. And then I went, I haven't listened to this Whitehorse record in quite a while. The interesting thing about Whitehorse is every album that they have done is different. There's a folk one, there's a rock one, there's a blues album, there's kind of like an indie kind of one, there's a psychedelic one. This is their country record. It's very country. Like it still sounds like Whitehorse, but it sounds like Whitehorse doing like 60s country, and it's absolutely fantastic. Not a giant country fan, but I love this. So because Chris asked if he should buy it, I put it on and spun it a couple times the other day. What a fantastic record. So everything by Whitehorse is great. There you go. Oh, we're all caught up in the comments. So it's Keith's turn. I'm going to run upstairs real quick just to wish my son good night. But take it away, Keith. I'll be back in about 60 seconds.
Okay. If you're a follower of this channel, you know what I'm talking about when I say this is my Adam Baldwin choice. Just a record that I've found and completely obsessed with. And it's Stephen Wilson Jr. and the album's called Son of Dad. So it's not the Stephen Wilson that remixes just about every new record coming out. This guy is singer-songwriter. So it's a really interesting story. He was a smart guy. He was a food scientist, and he did a little bit of music, but then a catalyst for him to get full into music was the passing of his father. His father was poorly, and he was trying to get to see him before he passed away. Ended up saying goodbye to him on the telephone, and one of the last things his father said was, keep playing your music and write some music for me. So he gave up being an important job, being a scientist, to just devote himself. And this album is a tribute to his father. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a country guy, I'm a metal guy. So for me to like this is a massive leap. And I heard it because my son played some of it in the car on a road trip, and I'm going, man, I really like this. It's kind of an album when you listen to the songs and it makes sense of the world, how you're thinking about the world. He's got a really interesting view of things, and so it gives you a clarity, very insightful. It's actually quite an emotional record because I actually lost my father 2 years ago. So he sings about that and what his father means to him. I get the feels when I listen to it. But every song is good on here. Every song I like, and they're quite different. Some of them, there's a lot of variety. So if you want to get into Stephen Wilson Jr., listen to what's on YouTube. He does a amazing version of "Stand By Me." That's how I started. Just a great artist, and just one to watch out for, I think.
Where's he from again?
He's American. I'm not sure exactly
American,
where.
I'll have to like yourself. I'm not huge into country, but I definitely, when you noted that his the song lyrics and stuff are very lyrically Adam Baldwin type music, definitely you got me hooked on that one. I'll have to take a look at that one.
I'm sure. Well, I mean by that is I'm obsessed by that as much as Rob and other guys are obsessed with Adam Baldwin record. That is my one. But
you said Stephen Wilson Jr., right?
Yeah. Listen to on YouTube first, his version of "Stand By Me," and that sort of gives you an idea of what he's like in some of the other songs. This is a song he does, Gary. That's a good one. So
I've heard several people recommend that, so we'll have to check it out.
Love that record. Play it over and over and over and over. Never get sick of it. Always find something new to listen to it every time.
I thought about that phenomenon today as I was driving home from Toronto, listening to Adam Baldwin for the 7th or 8th time this week. And I thought to myself, am I ever going to get sick of this record? And it's pretty much every day and has been for 2 years. And I don't know there's ever a record I've listened to that much. So, yeah, that's good that resonates with you. That's cool. We'll have to check it out. Andrew's in the house. Welcome, sir. Richard's saying there is a 4 LP version of that Son of Dad album. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got their 3 LP.
Nice. Okay. Daryl, take it away.
Well, speaking of musicians that Rob and I talk about lots, I'm actually going to do a twofer here because I listened to these back to back, so I might as well just show them. If Music Talk is still here, I know it drives him absolutely crazy when you and I refer to this person as Canada's version of Sheryl Crow.
Oh, yes.
So I am going to show Amanda Marshall because
John has that record now. I sent it to him.
He does, eh?
Yeah, because remember I bought the autographed copy, so I sent him. There he is. Normally, all you have to do is say Billy Joel and click your heels 3 times, and John shows up. But he's still here. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about her so many times. She's like bluesy and R&B and 90s pop and just really good music. And I mean, we always describe her as Canada's version of Sheryl Crow because at least this album to me is for sure along those lines. So I listened to this and then backed it up.
Tuesday's Child.
Back to back it with the Tuesday's Child one.
There you go.
Which I don't know. I'm starting to, after listening to Tuesday's Child again, man. I'm starting to wonder which one is my favorite. I don't know, because I did it back to back, and I'm like, man,
yeah,
I was at two different points in my life within a few years between the two albums, and they resonate with me differently, if that makes sense, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
The only thing that I don't like, I don't know what it is about these double albums. Maybe it's just, as much as I like vinyl and stuff, I just don't like having to flip the record every 3 songs. That's the only thing. I wish it was. I wish this wasn't a double.
Right.
It's one of those times that I wish that it wasn't a 2-disc set. I wish it was like the self-titled, but yeah, like this one has Believe in You followed by Love Lift Me. Man, those are great songs. I'm having a hard time deciding if I like this one better than the self-titled now. I don't know.
I think the self-titled is a perfect album.
Yeah.
There's not a bad note on that record. I love Tuesday's Child, though. Love Lift Me. Holy man, what a song that is. But then again, my favorite song is Dark Horse, which is on the I don't know how to I don't know.
Like Promises is my favorite song, but If I Didn't Have You, which is on the that's on Tuesday's Child, I think. That's a great song. Like, I mean, she does so many. It's just like I said, pop, blues, and then she's got these like love ballads from the 90s. It's all there.
And the voice is just insane. Voice is so good. Can't wait. I'm going to see her in December in Kitchener.
That was one I picked up from watching your channel.
Oh yeah? What did you think of it?
Sorry. That was one I picked up from watching your channel. Yeah.
What did you think of it? Did you
like I got the signed one, and it's on white vinyl or something. And
yeah.
I don't have Tuesday's Child. I've got the one you just talked about.
Self-titled one.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
And you like it?
You like it?
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Awesome.
I just put it on, like as a palate cleanser. Like I listen to a lot of harsher music, and sometimes I want to just chill out and listen to something. I'll put that on. I'll put some reggae on. I'll put something else on.
Mm-hmm. Richard's saying here he loves that album because, again, Daryl and I have talked about it so much that Richard got into it and loves it. John says it's very good. He likes it. Andrew loves it. I have all of them in his albums, but I'm cursing not finding a cut of the 92 Canada set she sang in Vancouver. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. I don't understand.
I know that you said, like, obviously they're not as good as her 90s stuff. I got to get the most recent one that she
Heavy
did.
Lifting.
And
Heavy lifting.
Like yourself, I mean, even if that crappy one there, not the crappy one, but it's not her best album, the one after Tuesday's Child that has never been released.
Everyone has a story.
I had it. Yeah.
Everyone has a story. That, to me, that album got a little too kind of R&B, but it still had some great songs on it. Like Sunday Morning is a fantastic. I like that song. That I woke up.
Buy it just to say that I had it, just to.
Me too.
Complete the set,
Me too. I guess maybe it's a rights issue or something that it hasn't been released yet. I don't know. I know the reason she took a break from music for 20 years is there was some legal entanglements with her former manager that she didn't make any music till she was free of those. So maybe that's why that album is still in limbo, but I hope it comes out. It'd be great. It'd be nice to complete the set. So we'll see. Okay. My turn. We're going to go with an album that I have wanted for a long time. I have it on CD, and the only pressing was very expensive, and now they've just released it for the first reissue in 20 years. Clapton and B.B. King, Riding with the King. It's a really good record. It came out in 2000. right on. I remember when this came out and I bought it and I loved it then. And the original pressing from 2000 or whatever has been on my Discog want list forever. But it's like $150. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So they remastered this in honor of BB King's 100th birthday. Got a cool cover on it because it kind of wraps around. It's them riding in a car. It's good. It's Clapton and King doing the blues. Not much more to say about it. They did it on gold vinyl. It looks more brown on the camera, but it's kind of a gold. People complain about gold vinyl, but it sounds fine to me. But then again, I don't have audiophile ears. I just have a guy that likes to listen to record ears. So
Yeah.
There you go. A reissue of Riding with the King. I'm so glad it's out finally.
I've actually heard that.
Yeah? Like it?
Yeah. Strange story. I was staying at Katoomba. This is over in Australia, up in the Blue Mountains, and it's very cold. I was staying at a bread and breakfast there with my partner at the time, and you just walk in. They tell you where the key is, and then you walk in, and then it's all furnished and everything there. But they had a CD player, and they had a little stack of CDs, and that was one of the CDs they had in the stack there to listen to. So all the other stuff I wasn't really interested in, but I remember playing that CD quite a lot and enjoying it. I haven't heard it in like 20 something years, but I have seen BB King in concert with U2 though. So
whoa, hold on a minute. You saw BB King with U2?
Yeah.
Oh my
Came
God.
to New Zealand.
Tell me all about it.
In the later 80s.
Richard and I probably just both had a heart attack, so tell me all about that.
Oh, okay. It's the Rattle and Hum tour.
Yeah.
And you might remember they did a little song, BB King and U2 together. So BB King on his own is like a fantastic guitar player. And then he had a backing group of older guys on there, and they were just cool dudes. And it really got you into the mood. And then, of course, when you heard all the U2 songs and they played all their classics and a lot of what's on Rattle and Hum, comes on stage and does Love Comes to Town with U2.
Oh, man.
And brought the house down. And it was fantastic, Edge is there. And the actual band loved BB King.
Yeah.
And you could see they were so happy just to be on stage with this amazing guitar player. And Edge was loving it. They were all smiling and it's fabulous. It was a great concert too.
Wow.
Yeah.
If I could have my fantasy wish list of, concerts that I wish I could see. I mean, obviously I would have loved to have seen the Beatles at Candlestick Park or Shea Stadium, one of those 65 shows, probably Shea Stadium maybe. And then I would have loved to have seen Elvis just because I think he's the greatest entertainer in the history of the world. And then I think right after that would be BB King with U2. I mean, because the man is a legend. U2 is one of my favorite bands. Rattle and Hum is my favorite U2 record. Man, that would have been something. Wow. Wow.
It's about 17, 18, I think.
Shit. Crazy. That's I don't know what to say after that. That's phenomenal. Wow. Crazy. Okay. I don't know how you follow that, but follow that, I guess.
Okay. I've got to show some more New Zealand music. So a New Zealand group called the Chills. They formed in the early 80s. They helped to sort of create what is known as the Dunedin sound, sort of like alternative sound of the music at the time. And it influenced quite a lot of bands overseas, this little New Zealand band from Dunedin. I saw them on the tour for this album, and it's called Scatterbrain, came out in 2021. But the really cool thing was, when you go to a gig and you this is where I bought the album, actually the gig at the table, the lady said, would you like Martin to sign it? And Martin Phillips is the lead singer. And I said, sure. He's quite a quiet, unassuming man. And I talked to him a little bit. And of course, he signed there for me, and he said, "Would you like the rest of the band to sign it?" And I said, "Of course."
Isn't that a dumb question? Do you want the band to sign it? Yeah, of course we do.
Of course I do. And
Right
it's
on.
just so nice to go to a gig like that and really enjoy yourself, because I've been wanting to hear this band for so long, and then the interaction was really good, and I walked away with this album. Sadly, Martin, the vocalist, a great songwriter, had a really great ear for melody, and a big musician from New Zealand. He sadly died in 2024. So I've got this as a memento.
Nice.
And the only time I met him and the only time I heard the band was on that tour. So that was really cool.
There you go. You have a Dunedin there. We have a Dunedin in North America, and I'm wearing a Dunedin Blue Jays hat. There's a Dunedin in Florida. So this is the Jays, one of the Jays minor league teams. By the way, we need to check what the Jays are doing here. Let's look. Hold on.
I almost wore one of my son's T-shirt because he's in baseball, and it's got Toronto, but it's got a team on it, and I didn't want to upset everyone if I wore a T-shirt with the wrong team on it. So
long as the team, we have one rule: long as it's not New York Yankees or the Los Angeles Dodgers, we're good.
Okay.
Final score 3-0. We won. Fantastic. There we go.
So where does that put the Jays in that third place wild card now?
Well, I think we lost.
Seeing that 2 months ago, we were like, yeah, that's never even going to happen.
Right now, we're 3 games out of the wild card. We were a half a game out of the wild card, but then we had a couple rough nights. So we'll see. I mean, there's still a couple games going on. We need to see what Texas and Cleveland and that is doing. So we'll see. I'm not holding out a ton of hope, but who knows? Stranger, there's still 20.
You're holding out more hope than you did 2 months ago when we had Hoffman in the lineup.
True. Listen, Brian, we're supposed to be friends, and if we're gonna be friends, you can't say stuff like that. You got to give me 5 or 6 years to get over the trauma of that World Series. So we can't be saying stuff like "Go Dodgers." I love you, man, but you can't be doing that. All right, go ahead.
All right, so this next one, I'm gonna dedicate this one to DJ Vinyl Vertigo, because I don't think he would have known this album. Maybe he would have actually, but I think he would have enjoyed this album. Most of us know. I mean, we were joking around about ABBA earlier. The one song is disco-esque. We know that. Not a huge disco fan, but this album here is kind of I would call it funk, R&B, not R&B, but funky, spacey, disco-ish type music. And I had it on again the other day, and it's a band. I can't find any information about these guys, but they're called Planet Earth, and it's I don't know how to explain this, space disco with some R&B funk in it kind of music. And I think that if Scott were here on tonight's show, he would have enjoyed this. So
Probably.
It's kind of a dedication to him.
Well said.
Yeah. So not much to look at on the backside, but I mean, all of the songs on this are space songs. We got Rocket Man, we've got Space Boogie, we got Across the Universe, we got Telstar. It's even got their space version of the Doctor Who theme song. So just a group called Planet Earth, black and white cover with the planet Earth in the eyeball. Just some unique music, and I don't know what more to say about it, but this is one of those albums that I will listen to while I'm doing some cleaning and stuff like that. I just think it's got some catchy riffs on it, and like I said, that one goes out to Scott, because I think he would have enjoyed that one.
That came out in 1978. There is a couple versions of it for sale on Discogs, but no information about the band other than who the members are. So, yeah. Apparently, people want it. 167 people, but have it, but 460 people want it. So,
Wow.
You could probably make $15 or $20 on it.
I probably could.
Just don't curse the Leafs again. I think the Leafs are perpetually cursed. So, all I have to say about that, though, is right there. Sorry. Okay. What am I going to show here? I'm going to show this. I bought a soundtrack just recently. Don't have a lot of soundtracks. And no, it's not the greatest soundtrack ever made, which is Grease 2. But I do have that. This is, I don't know if you guys watched this or even heard of it. There was I think it was HBO. There was a show called Daisy Jones and the Six. And it was about a fictitious rock band in the 70s. And let's be honest, it's Fleetwood Mac and it's Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. That's who these characters basically are in this show. And it's a fantastic, I think it's like 6 or 7 episodes, and it kind of charts the trajectory of this band called the Six that Daisy joined as the lead singer, and kind of what was the catalyst for them gaining notoriety in this fictitious show. And the song off of here that they was the hit in the series was called Don't Let Me Down Easy, and it's fantastic. It sounds very sort of Fleetwood Mac-esque. So I bought the soundtrack because it was used at my local record store. It's pretty good. It's not as good as that song, but the rest of it's still pretty entertaining. The actress that plays Daisy Jones is Riley Keough, and that name may not mean anything to you, but she is Elvis Presley's granddaughter, so Lisa Marie's daughter. And man, can she sing. Fantastic. So really good, HBO kind of drama about a rock band in the 70s. So glad that I found a copy of the soundtrack for that. There you go.
I never heard of that show. When did that one come out?
2023. It's really good. It's kind of like the movie Almost Famous.
Yeah.
Seen that movie about Cameron Crowe when he was a teenager falling around the Eagles and Led Zeppelin, and it kind of has the feel of that, but about this band that is without question based on Lindsey and Stevie in their early days in Fleetwood Mac. Like without question, like I'm surprised they didn't get sued for using those characters. Even though that's not officially who they are. It's really, really well done. The acting is fantastic. The musicianship is great. There's not a bad episode of the show. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Well, yes, Don't Let Me Down Easy is no Cool Rider from Grease 2, because, there's nothing more exciting than Michelle Pfeiffer on top of a stepladder singing that song. Whew. I need a minute. And now it's Keith's turn because I need a minute.
Okay, the next album I played is from a group, and there's a bit of argument between New Zealand and Australia about whether this band is a New Zealand or Australian band, but I'm going to say it's a New Zealand band because I'm showing it. And that is Crowded House.
Yeah.
So it's got it's formed in 1985. You've got down there Neil Finn, Paul Hester, and Nick Seymour there. But you might know the song "Don't Dream It's Over." That was a massive worldwide hit.
Yep.
And it's quite Beatlesque. I always thought that was quite Beatlesque, that song. And I like with this band how they include in a lot of these songs New Zealand place names. I thought that was really cool. When you read the lyrics, they say in one song, the sound of Te Ao Mutu had a truly sacred ring. Now, Te Ao Mutu is not that far from where I live in the North Island of New Zealand, so it's really cool to hear that.
Nice.
But unfortunately, only 2 of their members are around now, because Paul there died in 2005. So it always seemed really strange to me on the cover that these 2 guys are standing here, and he's the one with angel wings up there. I always thought that, wow, that's
a little foreshadowing.
Bizarre. Foreshadowing, yeah, that came out. They've got quite a few albums. Some of their later albums, they've got more family members of Neil Finn. Did I say Neil Finn or Tim Finn? I can't remember.
Neil.
I get mixed up sometimes. Neil Finn.
Yeah.
And, sometimes his brother has come and Tim, who I just mentioned. But I did get this album. I've got a signed album.
Oh, wow.
There. And the thing that I might have a bit of flex with Rob there, because I have a signature from a Fleetwood Mac member, Neil Finn's signature.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have Lindsey Buckingham, Mick Fleetwood, and John McVie on the wall. So
no, that probably beats it. But
it might.
That's the
only flex
Tim would
I've
be
got.
frothing at that.
Oh yeah, Tim kicks our ass all the time with anything signed. So
I think he'd be frothing with all those signatures on there.
Maybe. That's cool. I like that though. I have that same Crowded House record, the first one that you showed, because I bought it when Neil joined Fleetwood Mac, and I liked his guitar. I knew the song, but I really liked his guitar playing when he was in Fleetwood Mac, because I was a big Mac fan. So I saw that at, I don't know, I'm going to buy it at an antique market or something, and it was a couple bucks. I'm like, I might as well buy that because it's Fleetwood Mac adjacent, and it's a very enjoyable record. Yeah.
I saw that lineup live in my local town, and those guys
really?
were joking around, and they were just having a lot of fun. And it was a small venue. In New Zealand we don't have big venues, and you could get as close as you like, and it was quite fun.
Nice.
He came from the band Split Ends, and this is his first band that he went on with, and
very cool. Right on. That's a good one. I like that. Okay, Daryl.
Okay, so I showed this one not that long ago, but I'm going to show it again because I think these guys are a really good Canadian 80s rock band.
You showed Glass Tiger already.
No. The other one.
Oh, the other one. Okay.
This was sent to me as VCLT from Tim, actually. Well, not VCLT. I paid him for it because I couldn't find it, and he sent it to me. But this is Honeymoon Suite and their singles album. I mean, these guys are just so good out of Niagara Falls.
Yep.
I don't know. I think they get overshadowed by. I mean, they once again not overshadowed, but I mean, at the time you got Bryan Adams and you got a few other big Canadian groups.
Glass Tiger, Loverboy. Yep.
So I don't know how far around the world these guys went, but man, this is just solid guitar-driven 80s Canadian rock. That's. I mean, the entire first side of this singles album, New Girl Now, Burning in Love, Stay in the Light, Wave Babies, Feel It Again, and What Does It Take is just absolutely stellar. Yeah, I agree, Richard. They should have been huge, not just in Canada, but elsewhere. And of course, because it was a RSD, you got the nice red vinyl there. But then even like side 2, like one of my favorite Honeymoon Suite songs is Love Changes Everything. That's such a good just guitar. I don't know. If you haven't listened to Honeymoon Suite, you gotta give them a listen because they're really good 80s guitar driven rock.
I've got the album that everyone has that has the heart-shaped bed with the nails on it.
That's amazing. That's a good album. Actually, you know what? I think the first 5 songs on this singles one are the first 5 songs on that album.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yep.
I think so. Yeah, the first side of that's, I think that's the self-titled one, the one with the heart-shaped bed.
I think so.
The first side is just perfect. There's
Yep.
not a bad song on that first side.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. Okay. I'm going to show another country record, which is bizarre, but there's a reason for this. I have been looking for this forever and never ever seen it in the wild. And then I was at the same place where I picked up Daisy Jones and the Six. They had a new copy of this that was in the used section because someone had bought it, didn't like it, and whatever. I finally found a copy of The Highwaymen, which is Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and Waylon Jennings. Fantastic. I mean, again, not that I'm not a big country guy. I have like maybe 10 country records out of 1,000. But what first kind of hooked me on this is I really like Chris Christopherson, who's, you know, kind of the least known, I guess, of the four members of this supergroup. And I love the song Bobby McGee, which he wrote, and then Janis Joplin later covered and made it crazy famous. And then, you know, their signature song was The Highwaymen, which was a cool song. And I just love that these four absolute, you know, superstars from back in the day got together, and they did 3 albums, I think. So, yeah, it's all original stuff. They don't have any of their hits on here or anything. So when I saw this for like less than $20 and it's basically new, like it doesn't even look like it's hardly ever been played. So had to grab it, and it's very enjoyable. So I have had the pleasure to see Chris Christopherson in concert before. He opened for Blue Rodeo many years ago, and yeah, he was great. And obviously he did Bobby McGee, and then he came out and joined Blue Rodeo for their encore and did a couple songs with them. And have heard some stories. My good friend Bob that I mentioned earlier, obviously when he was in Blue Rodeo, played with Chris Christopherson, and he's played with Johnny Cash. So I've heard some stories about these guys that are quite interesting. So they are good. I love the song about stealing. Yes. Great album, kind of like country with 80s production. Yeah, it's probably a good way to put it. So, okay. Back to the top. We got about 5 minutes to go. So, you know, we'll kind of do like a speed round there. If you got more than one to show whatever you want to show, and make it our last round.
This artist, this kind of just a small sweet spot of records that I like from him, and that's Rod Stewart. Most of his stuff,
Such a good album.
I can't be, you know. He did a really good album with Jeff Beck called Truth, Jeff Beck album. I love that. And he also did Gasoline Alley, his really early stuff. He's just got a phenomenal voice. Very AOR, this album. The reason I like this is because I went on a fishing trip with my father years ago, and the Rhythm of My Heart, they played that song. It must have been every 15 minutes. And I've got good memories of that fishing trip because it was on one of the Rotorua lakes, and I caught some rainbow trout. And so whenever I hear that song, I remember that. And I don't know, Rob, if you know the association on this album with Robbie Robertson.
I do not.
He does a version of Broken Arrow on there that's really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And just to finish off, this is the last thing I've got to show. Once you see the title of this album, you won't be able to see anything else, and probably ruining my chances of ever being asked back on your channel. But Never. I've got to show this album. It's called Goblin Cop, and it's called Necra Donkey Kong Macon Non Macon. So this album is like a running joke with some of my other Canadian friends. I showed this on their panel, and I sent them a copy of this. We all have copies of this one album, and there's sort of an Evil Dead motif through here. But it started out as a joke, but we actually like this album now. We actually listen to it quite a bit. And they've just put out a new album. It's on Joyful Noise. It's like a one-man project. The guy that runs it, that does it, he calls himself Lord Phallus. And there he is on his bike.
Lord Phallus.
Yeah.
Richard says it's the best band name ever. I agree. That's fantastic. I love that joke.
That's hilarious.
If you ever invite me back, I'll tell you the full story for that. But
you are welcome to come back whenever you want. Yes, we will have you on again for sure. For sure. That's great. That cements the fact that we're going to have you back. I love that. That's great. All right, Daryl, what you got left?
How the hell am I supposed to follow that up?
How do you follow Goblin Cock? I don't know that you can.
Well, why don't I follow it up with some Zen music? We'll go with Zen. I talked about live and mental jewelry, but I think this is their best album. I know it's their first album that they ever did, and it was the one that had the least amount of commercial success, but I think it's a really good album. A 90s alternative with, a bit of Zen, I guess, East Indian Zen flavor to it on some of the songs. So I've been listening to that. This one here, I guess it would be 1970s country-ish, but there's a song on here called Wildfire that he did that went big. It's a one-hit wonder. Michael Murphy. Basically, it's about a horse or a pony. The barn catches on fire, and the pony dies. It's a really sad song, but it went popular in the 1970s. So it's a good album, though. And then I've got 3 more to show here. This one I have no shame. I have no shame in showing this because everybody in the VC always goes, "Oh, you could find this in every thrift store and all this kind of stuff." And it took me forever to find this. And I've been listening to it, and I think it's a really good album. The Whipped Cream and Other Delights. I think it's a good album. I mean, I don't know why it gets shit on, maybe because you can find it everywhere, but I don't think that's a bad album. It's a $2 album, but it's a good album. And I couldn't go this without showing Primus. Their version of the Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory movie, the entire soundtrack redone. Of course, they had to do it up big with the Golden Ticket album and the golden vinyl. So that's what I've been listening to.
Okay. I got 2 more here. I was my son and I were out in the car earlier in the week, or late last week, I guess. And I mentioned before, my son's on a big Michael Jackson kick, and he thinks that's the only music in the world. And I'm trying to find something else that I've got that he might go, "Ooh, that's kind of interesting." So I was just randomly pulling stuff through my digital library that's in my car. And I put this on. I put this one song off this album on. Blur, The Great Escape. I put on the song Country House because it's kind of upbeat and whatever, and thought he might find that interesting. And he's like, "No." Everything I put on, he went, "No." But anyway, I'm like, I haven't listened to Blur in a very long time. To set the record straight, Blur versus Oasis. Oasis wins. They're much better. They're a rock band. These are not a rock band. But anyway, I have a couple Blur albums from back in the day. This is Country House on it. It's got Charmless Man, The Universal. I forget what other big hits are on here. But I like this, and I like Park Life. So I listened to a little bit of Blur this week. And lastly, I think I showed this a couple weeks ago because I had just bought it. A greatest hits from the UK. So Chris Mann will be happy. I've been listening to the best of the Corrs. Why? I don't know. I think it was because in my YouTube feed, a live performance by the Corrs came up from like 2005. Breathless was the big hit they had. And I loved them back in the day. Amanda, the lead singer, was just such a smoke show back in the day. Holy moly. And still not too bad these days. So there was a reason that they originally attracted my interest back in 2000 and whatever. But I had forgot until I bought this record how many damn good songs they have. They do a great cover of Fleetwood Mac's Dreams. So Young was another big hit. Runaway was a big hit. Just great. It's three sisters and a brother, and they're from Ireland, and it's just good sort of late 90s, early 2000s radio-friendly music. So been listening to some cores lately. And that's it. That's it, that all. Douglas is saying that Herb Alpert album, that's a mouthful, that Herb Alpert album, they're good, especially the music number for the dating game. There you go.
It's true. Yeah.
Glenn, welcome. He says, good stuff. Well, that was fun. Keith, I am so glad you joined us, and I'll add you to the regular revolving list, and hopefully we can do this again soon. I really enjoyed this, man.
Total pleasure. I watch your show all the time, and along with what you're talking about, I think, well, this is what I would have shown if I was on the channel, and it's my love your show. So
awesome. Well,
happy to come back.
I love that you joined us, and it was a lot of fun. And next time Tim will be with us. So, is there anything on your channel you want to talk about, Keith? Any video you want to tell anybody about, or?
I have been making videos for about a week. I've just been doing shorts, and right now I'm just got I showed that Alice Cooper. I've just been showing which Alice Cooper albums I'm been listening to.
Nice.
So there'll be more videos coming. I've got lots of videos. So.
I said that 8 months ago, and I still haven't made a video since. So.
I'm waiting for that YouTube video.
It is. See, Richard's going to give me shit because it's on my computer. It honestly is. I just have to edit the thing, and maybe I'll surprise you guys. And it will come out at some point. It's, you know what it is. It's like the GNR album, Chinese Democracy. People waited forever for it, and hopefully it's better than the Chinese Democracy albums. We'll see how that goes. John, I love that you watched the whole night, sir. Good, even though there was no Billy Joel. Well, I know, but we don't have any Billy Joel. So, Brian, listen, you can't mention that baseball team from California and not jab a dagger into my heart. Like, you don't understand the trauma from that World Series. I am not ashamed to admit I was sitting on the edge of my coffee table for the last 2 innings, and when that happened, I cried, man. It was just so you're killing me every time you mention that baseball team. I know, Richard. I owe you the video, and I'm very sorry you were gracious enough to give me your time. Now I feel like a piece of crap because I haven't done it. It's coming. Best Wednesday night show. Is it the only Wednesday night show? Thanks, Glenn. We love that you're tuning in. So, Daryl, anything on your channel you want to tell folks about?
Not as of recent. As I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm back to work now, so that means less videos because I just don't have the time. And the classes that I have right now, I mean, I'm done by noon, man. I got grade 9s all morning, 2 periods in a row.
Oof.
I am done by noon.
I bet.
So yeah, nothing on my channel. I think I put one out a few weeks ago. I can't even remember what it was now. But
fair enough. Well, to everybody that joined us tonight in the comments section, thank you for tuning in. We love chatting with you. And for everyone that's going to watch this later, thanks for spending some time with us. Keith, Attack from Down Under, visiting us from the future. Thank you very much. We'll see him again for sure. Tim will be back next week, and we'll do something with somebody. And yeah, hang on a second, Keith. After I end this, we'll catch up after this goes offline. But thanks, everybody. We will be back next week. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon.